Lodosop's company is working on that, but I think it is again not something which is in government's control. Typically, recycling of waste, converting waste into energy, it is not going to be a financially rewarding exercise. It has to be done on a CSR basis. Only then, we can solve this problem of waste to energy. Otherwise, we will keep seeing the huge mountains of waste which is lying all around us. And there will be no solution for it. And last but most importantly, education. Obviously, education is an area where I think as much as we do is less. So we need to really work on it and make again a conscious effort in this direction. Not creating schools, but creating systems so that these schools work in a proper way and deliver what they are intended to deliver. If we can work in that direction, I think probably. So these are the 5 areas that I would suggest that we as corporates can come together, pull money, and work towards making Vidarbha better Vidarbha. So that's what I had in terms of my thoughts. Thank you very much for listening patiently.
Invite PB Kale sir. Do you have presentation? No. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll invite then Vaishali Sadawati. I am noting down my points to ask to the panelists the question. I request you also to note down your points or your questions so that can be an interactive session.
Vocard Hospital. I am representing actually Vocard Foundation. Little Hearts is one of the part of the Vocard Foundation activities. Vocard Foundation runs various activities for children, for sanitation. Little Hearts, it's one of the activities of Vocard Foundation. वोकार्ड फाउंडेशन जो है वो अभी एक चाइल्ड है, अभी जस्ट स्टार्ट हुआ है ये प्रोग्राम. वोकार्ड फाउंडेशन बेसिकली इट्स वर्क्स इन बॉम्बे. We have our South Bombay, one of the biggest hospital, where we done surgeries. The Little Hearts program mission has to save young lives from congenital heart disease. We have mostly 3 lakh children per year born with this congenital heart disease. Many of them even cannot reach to the hospitals for any first primary treatment also. The solution for this is state-of-the-art infrastructure for these babies. Congenital heart defect surgeries at Vocard Hospital in South Bombay, where the hospital contributes 15% of the cost for the surgery, and even we help for the remaining funds. Like Siddhi Vinayak Trust, we give our letter, and from where Siddhi Vinayak hospitals and other foundations, they give us remaining amount. Maximum up to we have contributes up to 90% of the surgery cost. 15% borne by Vocard Hospital, Vocard Foundation, and we help for other till 90% for fund releasing. Spreading awareness in society. It's our mission, of one of the mission of Little Hearts Foundation. I want help.
Just press this button.
This one, no? This one? Okay. What are the congenital heart disease? It's a defect in the structure of heart and blood vessels which is present since birth. After birth also this defect arises. For us it is important to recognize the warning signs like the symptoms. When baby bluish decoration of tongue, fingertips and toes, inability of child to do his normal activities like running, crawling, even breastfeeds, excessive sweating, poor weight gain, recurrent cough, cold, fever or pneumonia is a symptoms of the CHD, easy fatiguity while playing or exercise. We have New Age Vocard Pediatric and Congenital Heart Centers, that is our SOBO, South Bombay Hospitals, where the center has an expert panel of surgeons, cardiologists, intensivists, who are there as a team to deliver the best of care to the children. The center, with a strong core of ethics and teamwork, is first of its kind in South Bombay. Along with the personnel, the institute has a state-of-art facility in the form of 14-bedded separate pediatric cardiac ICU. In addition to all the above, the department also has novel machines like INO, which required for these neonatal patients, HFO ventilators. The center also has a deliver state-of-the-art care and also to develop a forum for transfer and exchange of knowledge, that is increasing awareness about congenital heart disease, increasing awareness amongst pediatricians through seminars, CMEs and symposia, training program for surgeons, supporting poor and needy patients through charitable NGOs. Criteria for the patient are: the Little Heart program of Vocard Foundation plans to give financial help to more and more children from underprivileged state of art. Now it's happened only in South Bombay. If the patient is also from Vidarbha area, we have to send to our South Bombay hospitals. What we want exactly? We have to raise the funds from the Vidarbha area and we insist them to do the surgery in Nagpur also. We have Vocard Heart Hospital. So we are going to try this. For that we have to release the funds through Vocard charitable funds. We give them a certificate also. Children for this Vocard Little Heart programs patients, the age is from 0 to 15 years. And the documents required is their medical reports, income, residential proof. The achievements of Little Heart programs, which is running now throughout all our Vocard centers, is more than 6,000 congenital heart disease surgeries done over last 15 years. Young babies from 4 hours underwent cardiac surgery. One of the smallest children underwent complex open heart surgery, that is 900 gram neonatal underwent obstructed intracardiac TAPVC correction, complete 3-stage correction of single ventricle pollutions, off-pump technique development for performing a very complex cardiac lesions, and bypass surgeries. Vocard Foundation Little Hearts have technology, that is state-of-art pediatric ICU. Track record is of 60,000 congenital heart surgeries done. Dr. Suresh Joshi, who is expert pediatric cardiologist and qualified pediatric cardiac nurses we have at our SOBO centers. We give 50% tax benefit whoever raise the funds more than 1,000 rupees. We save a life of the poor of the communities, support congenital heart surgery, that is our mission. Put a smile back on a young life. Karma will put a small for the contact person for our Little Heart program, that is Firoz Daginawala, program head, who is doing all the activities. Dr. Minal Shah, our Deputy Manager Medical Administrator, and Mr. Amey Mahajan, who is our Vocardian, who is doing medical social worker, as a medical social worker in their South Bombay. What we want from the Vidarbha region is, all the surgeries now is doing, we have to send patients to the Bombay. That traveling expenses the poor patient have to bear. What we want is, we have to raise the fund from the Vidarbha. और हम इतना फंड रिलीज करें और यहाँ पे इतने पेशेंट्स हम तैयार करें थ्रू आवर कम्युनिटी कि हम यहाँ पे सर्जरी परफॉर्म करें, जो कि अभी हमारे साउथ बॉम्बे जा रहे हैं। बिकॉज हमको साउथ बॉम्बे भेजना पड़ रहा है क्योंकि जो अदर देन 15% फंड है वो रेस हो रहा है वहीं के बॉम्बे के अदर्स जो सोसाइटीज है, जैसे सिद्धि विनायक फंड्स है। वी आर गिविंग लेटर फ्रॉम आवर साइड, then that societies help our patients. So we want this type of societies, this type of organizations from our Vidarbha area, so that हम यहीं से fund collect करें और यहीं पे surgeries करें. That is our motto, and that is we want from Vidarbha region and from our side. Thank you.
I invite Mr. Vilas Todbi. He is from Saksham Disabled Employment Information Center.
Very warm good afternoon to each and everyone, and first and foremost I must thank Hemant Lodha ji for giving us an opportunity. Ours is too young a venture. So we are basically into making efforts for employment of deaf and dumb, orthopedically handicapped, low vision and blind. We just started off in June 2015 with 3-4 of us. Still there are 2-3 more volunteers. Saksham is a registered organization, registered as an NGO in 2008. It has an all India presence in 150 cities, and basically it was established for development of all types of disabled persons. But as far as Nagpur is concerned, Nagpur would be knowing Saksham basically for Madhav Netrapedi, because that is their pioneer project. It started with Madhav Netrapedi for eye donation and then squint surgeries. Now addition is squint surgeries, because it was observed that there are lot of youngsters, ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये तिरळेपणा म्हणतो. If it remains uncorrected, he is likely to lose eyesight. Therefore, Saksham has started working on those lines also. And then for blind people, as everybody knows, they cannot read. So we are providing them books in Braille. But these days, it has been observed that the boys or girls are not very comfortable with Braille. So we have a team of about 20 housewives. They have been trained to prepare audiobooks. Initially it was only for study material, but after we launched our project, we expanded our activities into making books for competitive exams. Because we came across situations where we have seen that blind persons are graduates, postgraduates, but they are unemployed. And everybody is aware employment is not that easy, because these days only competitive exams only could give you jobs. So we are providing them audio material. And most importantly, earlier there was a problem with the scribes also. I was very surprised in a place like Nagpur, because I also belong to Nagpur. They were finding it difficult to find scribes, for writers for exam, because they can't see, they need somebody to assist them for writing exams. Fortunately now, we have assured each and every blind person, whosoever is in Nagpur, just contact us. All writers, scribes would be made available by Saksham. That's our 110% assurance. For deaf and dumb persons, there is a peculiar problem. As we discussed, this is because this forum is for challenges. For blind, I have already explained the challenges and what we have done to remedy the situation. As far as deaf and dumb are concerned, you know, they can't speak, they cannot hear. So what happens? We also have to seek their employment or self-employment. And for blind, basically, one instrument was devised, Abrar karke, audiobook reader and recorder. It's just a small device back. It was just like a small device, just like our mobile, in which data, entire your syllabus, whether it is BA, MA, anything can be saved in one instrument, and it has lot of facilities that cost around 5,000. Because we do get definitely donors for donating, because unless they have that, blind people, it becomes difficult for them to study, because Braille books are very difficult to handle, because they become bulky in fact actually. So these boys and girls prefer audio books. Next. So it was started in June in a very informal way. but inauguration we did on 3rd of October at the hands of Nitinji Gadkari. We are trying to become a link between these boys and girls and you all. Because we have been approaching various establishments, trying to meet them, requesting them with folded hands. And our only request to all of you here, just give them a chance. What I am appealing to you, just give them a chance. Because ultimately, I am not asking for charity. We are not asking for donations. I will make it very clear here from this forum. Because what happens, and in private sector you know and I know, we don't need to give any commitment to anybody. Ki yes, भैया लगा दिया हमको कोई appointment letter देने का नहीं कुछ नहीं. We don't expect anything. Because we have been fortunate enough. Within 2-3 months, we have been in a position to employ around 42 boys and girls. The last slide would show you the list of establishments where our boys and girls have been employed. And we are really grateful to those establishments. I will come to that later. And for government jobs also, we have an information center. We do through SMS and WhatsApp, we are sending whosoever is educated blind or educated orthopedic handicap, we are giving them information regarding the availability of jobs. We are assisting them in filling up application forms online at our center itself without charging any fee. The most and foremost aspect of this activity is totally free for each and everybody. Whosoever comes to us. But now a stage has come. We are very lucky to meet Hemant Lodha sir, because I met him once when we had not started our activity. I had just gone in to meet and seek his guidance. Then the ball was set rolling, and now we are around more than 200 registrations, and we could employ till date 42. Still there is a wide gap. Because what happens, you can understand, whether it is orthopedic handicap, blind, no vision or deaf and dumb persons. Once he registers, he has an expectation for a job. Naturally, because वो सोचता है कि मैंने भी इनके पास register किया, तो हमें phone आएगा, हमें SMS आएगा. For deaf and dumb, there are that challenges as we discussed. Challenges are many. For deaf and dumb, you know, they cannot hear, they cannot speak. So we have to only communicate by SMS, but that mobiles are available. And in case the job has to be explained, we take a lot of efforts with the cooperation of the employers. In fact, whenever a job is offered, the deaf and dumb boys or girls are taken to the establishment. Just for you people who would be interested in employing our boys and girls, deaf and dumb, there is a retired teacher who was working with Shankar Nagar School, deaf and dumb, Mrs. Deshpande. She has also joined us. She helps us. Whenever we visit any organization, hospital or anything, or hotel or any organization, she comes along with us. You as an employer would explain your activities, the nature of work which you would expect him or her to do, and you to explain in a sign language to these boys and girls. And it has been proved that they would prove to be excellent employees. Deaf and dumb boys, as we said, challenges, but I always tell people, हम लोग जो सोचते हैं ना, क्या प्रॉब्लम है, हम लोग दूसरे तरीके से सोचना शुरू करते हैं. जैसे डेफ एंड डम्ब है, क्या है, हाथ पैर सब ठीक ठाक है, काम कर सकता है, आंखें हैं, देख सकता है. क्या कमी है, सुन नहीं सकता है, बोल नहीं सकता है. एक बार आपने उनको काम अगर समझा दिया ठीक तरह से, once the job is explained to him, assure you, just trust us, he would do the job sincerely and honestly. But the difficulty or our request to all of you is to repeatedly, I would come to the same statements. No charity, just give them a chance. Because ultimately you see, as a human being, everybody aspires, because they can't become parasites on their parents. Sometimes we have happened, we do a lot of counseling for the boys also and their parents also. Because we have seen there are a lot of issues also, because parents are very overprotective. उनको लगता नहीं यार मेरे बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम है, क्यों भेजना वहाँ पे, उसको प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. Then we counsel those people. Yes, we are there. The employers, the most important, I must thank you all people, and hats off to all employers. Actually, they have been very cooperative. The best part of Nagpur, why we love Nagpur, it's for this reason. Compassionate people. I'm not saying charity. Looking to their aspects, looking to their problems, giving them jobs as per their disabilities. Suppose deaf and dumb. As I said, only it's a question of communication. There is nothing lacking in fact. They are fit and fine. They can do any type of job. As far as we normally say disabled, जैसे क्या होता है physical handicap. Physical handicap में होता है क्या, पैर में कुछ प्रॉब्लम रहता है, एक आध बार हाथ में रहता है, एक हाथ में रहता है, दूसरा ठीक रहता है. But you visit certain factories. I would name one factory, high-tech registers. I've seen that one boy was employed, उसका एक हाथ ही नहीं है. He has employed that. एक हाथ से काम करता था. I was also shocked. देखिए, काम किस टाइप का है, उसके ऊपर रिक्वायरमेंट है हाथ का, पैर का, किसका. Orthopedically handicapped में, let me tell you one thing. There's only one problem, one challenge: commutation, reaching the place of employment. Now, with all motorized vehicles available, with the transport facility available, either from the employer side, and I would come to the transportation side. Hats off to Radisson Blue. Radisson Blue has employed 10 deaf and dumb boys and girls. They have also given them transport facility. That's where people are coming forward. Orthopedically handicapped, as I said, their only problem is commutation. They would reach the place, definitely. किसी को जॉब करना है तो वहां पहुंचेगा टाइम से, क्योंकि आप भी प्राइवेट सेक्टर में है, नहीं काम करेगा तो कभी भी निकाल सकते हैं. और गेटिंग माय पॉइंट, बिकॉज वी ऑल्सो टेल दिस पीपल कि भैया ये जॉब है, ये चैरिटी नहीं है. जॉब में वहां तक लेने तक मे बी द एम्प्लॉयर मे हैव सिंपैथी टिल दे एम्प्लॉय यू. द मोमेंट यू आर एम्प्लॉयड, you have to deliver. Because I was also an employee for 31 years. One gentleman knows me. I was with Allahabad Bank as general manager. He is my friend retired from IDBI Bank. He was chief executive officer with Sriram Urban Bank, my ex-colleague from Allahabad Bank. We are basically bankers, retired bankers, trying to help these boys. But we need your support repeatedly. I would come to that. Once they reach the place, there is never a problem, in fact, actually. I would just appeal to your humanitarian instincts. What happens? Everybody aspires for happiness. Even I would do that. After retirement also, what I am doing it, what for? चलो यार थोड़ी खुशी मिलती है. आप लोग भी सोचिए, आप जो भी करते हैं दिन भर में सुबह से शाम तक, हम क्यों करते हैं? खुशी मिले. एक बार सिर्फ किसी को आप रख के देखिए, एक या दो को, ठीक है, उसकी जिंदगी बन जाएगी. Number one, he won't be dependent on his parents. Number two, he also has his own aspirations, because the difficulty is whether it is orthopedic handicap. See, a bit deaf and dumb. Can he really reach the employers? No, he can't communicate. Most of the situation is such that because their parents are also not that literate, they don't know which factory to go, which place to go. Obviously, even similarly for orthopedic, well, the most difficult challenge is they are not educated. Only category which we have found educated is blind persons. Yes, they are definitely graduate, postgraduates. Only one, we would, deaf and dumb, we have only 2 MFA candidates. Sort of you can call them artists, but still they are not employed. So that is one issue. So once again, finally, appealing to you, to your instincts, and we would request you, finally just give them a chance. I'll just reword the names. The first employer was Hotel Tuli Imperial. Because I was working with Allahabad Bank, I was knowing Kuku sir. The first thing मैंने उसको बोला कि यार चल कुछ बच्चों को रख के देकर डिफेंड होंगे, एक चांस तो दे. तो आई वॉज वेरी लकी. यार साहब बैंक में थे तभी भी आपने हमसे कुछ उम्मीद नहीं किया. रिटायर होने के बाद भी कभी कुछ मांगने आए तो किसी दूसरे के लिए मांगने आए, तो मैं कैसे मना करूं? तो once he employed 3, you won't believe. I told him, so just now we don't need your presence, just introduce to the general manager and HR. Then after 2-3 weeks we received a call that send 2-3 more. So presently 5 are working with Tuli Imperial. Hotel Hardev has employed 2. Heat Treatwell of Vishram Zamdar has employed 2. Hotel Hibiscus, Purti Subar Bazaar. We are really grateful these people. Boys and girls are working there. I would request you to cross-verify. Why I am reading out the names specifically, repeatedly. If you have any apprehensions about their abilities to work, you could verify, because they are working for 2-3 months. ऐसा नहीं कि अभी जब 2-4 दिन हुआ है, क्योंकि we request you. हम कहते हैं कि ट्रेनिंग पीरियड, जैसे तुली में भी कहीं भी लगाते हो बोलते भाई 21 दिन का ट्रेनिंग पीरियड है, ठीक है. हम बच्चों को भी बोलते हैं, बच्चियों को बोलते भाई देख 21 दिन का टाइम है, तो जस्ट 21 दिन में अच्छा काम करोगे तो आप कंटिन्यू करोगे, अदरवाइज यू विल बी literally you will be out of the job. So then high-tech registers, Manjiri textiles, they can work in sari shops and all those things. as helpers, Balaji Doors, and as I said earlier, Radisson Blue. Thanks a lot, thanks once again, and looking forward to your cooperation, please. And yes, lastly, I forgot one name. We are really struggling for employing one low vision candidate. Persistent as obliged. They have employed one low vision candidate. She is joining on Monday. Thanks a lot. Thanks once again.
Ms. Chandrasekhar Chincholkar ji to do presentation. Time limit. I know that many things you have to tell because you exceeded the time limit. I wanted to interrupt, but looking at your gist and drill, and I didn't review that. So
starting at 4:15, I'll try and finish by 4:25. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Lodaji. Thank you, VIA, for giving us this opportunity to speak. Water-related problems are too many in the country today, and Vidarbha is much more affected. You see the suicides in Vidarbha region, and the amount of problems Vidarbhites are facing because of water. So if you want to really benefit the farmer community and the villagers and really go towards a move of integrated village development plan, which is actually the need of the country today, what the first step is required is the availability of water. Because if a farmer is not able to even take one crop, whatever he invests, 30, 40, 50,000 rupees he invests in a year, actually goes waste. If you are able to provide him with water, he might be able to take 2 or 3 crops, which is actually the need of the hour. The GDP of the country also needs to improve significantly, and one of the major things that can contribute towards GDP growth is agriculture today. Because the contribution of agriculture to GDP today is only 14%, as compared to 60% of the people which are dependent on agriculture. So this is something which is very critical. So let me just throw you some highlights of the, what is the water resources which are available in the country today. This is the data from Central Water Commission. Average annual precipitation 4,000 billion cubic meter. Average precipitation during monsoon is 3,000. Natural runoff is 1986. Estimated utilizable surface water 690 billion cubic meter. Total utilizable groundwater is 433 billion cubic meter. Total annual utilizable water resources is 1123 billion cubic meter. What is required in the country today is much more, because the population is growing, the need for the people is much more, and per capita water availability is 720 billion cubic meter. So looking at the growth of the population and the other various needs of the industries, cattle, other people, the need for water is actually growing on a day-to-day basis. The average use of the water today is like this: agriculture 85%, industry is 10%, residential is 5%. Out of 85% for agriculture, around 20-25% goes for sugarcane, which is actually a waste. If you really look at sugarcane water being wasted in the country today is enormous. That is one of the single largest reasons why Marathwada is facing the real problem, where the water levels have actually dropped to 6% and now it is back to 13-14% level, thanks to the last rainfall which had happened in that region. The industry is 10%, residential is 5%. Out of 10% for the industry, almost 9% goes for power generation. So whether it is thermal or hydro or whatever, 9% actually goes for the power generation. And just to share here, we made a presentation to Niti Aayog Planning Commission on 5th September, asking them to give part of the money towards coal cess which they are collecting, because along with coal, what is required for generation of power is only water. So that is something which is very critical. If that happens, then Maharashtra could possibly get around 400 crores through Niti Aayog. So this is the presentation we did to Niti Aayog, and that might turn out to be positive in the coming days. So water requirement by 2030 is going to be 1500 billion cubic meter, which is seems to be a very difficult task, because पानी गिरता है लेकिन पानी कंजर्व नहीं हो पा रहा है. That is the biggest trouble in the country today, and the loss of water is causing a serious issue in the country, which we need to, if we need to grow, we need water, and we can't create water. That is the biggest thing today. Water cannot be created. We can only conserve the water. And per capita availability, which was more than 5,000 cubic meter in 1952, has come down by 70% today. You can imagine if the population goes to 150 crore plus, which is 130 crore now, what will be the availability, per capita availability of water. And the Third World War, which we are already seeing the signs of Third World War.